Hello and welcome to Middle Eastern Thursday. So today I have for you just 5 fragrances. But when I tell you that these 5 fragrances have me so very impressed from the moment that I received them and first sprayed them out. So let me tell you. So I received all of these fragrances in PR with the exception of one. And when I receive the fragrances, I always tell you that I spray them out at least 8 times and then I put them away before trying them on skin. So some of the fragrances that were sent to me had not even been launched. At this point, I think several of them are on pre-order and one has not even launched. It actually launches tomorrow, but I'll give you all the details when we get to that one. But what I wanted to say is that there's just been so many new releases during 2025 of Middle Eastern fragrances. I'm not even going to touch the others, no. But just in Middle Eastern fragrances, there's been so many fragrances that I've come to the point where it's like, some of them I really do enjoy, but I'm not like super impressed because I keep trying fragrances that are rather good. But these 5 fragrances that I'm going to share with you today, they are really special. And what I love about them is that they're different, right? So there are a couple that are, one is definitely a gourmand. The other one is gourmandish, but they're not your typical gourmand. They're actually different. And then for the others that are not within the gourmand scent profile, those are also quite different than what I've been seeing over and over again lately. So I'm very excited today to share with you these 5 fragrances. Of course, I will be giving you a detailed review of each. This is going to be more of like a discussion type of review, but you'll get all the information that you need. But let's go ahead and get started. But before we do so, if this is your first time here, I'm Arahi and I'm your fragrance concierge because I'm totally committed to creating the best fragrance experience for you. I upload videos multiple times a week, and on this channel, we love to talk about all types of fragrances. So if that sounds like the type of content that you're interested in and like a good plan, then please consider subscribing, give this video a thumbs up, and don't forget, leave a comment. Let's go. Okay, so let's go ahead and start by me sharing my lip liner and lipstick of the day. But today I'm also going to share with you the blush because this is a blush that every time I wear it, I get the question of, what blush are you wearing? So I'm also going to share the blush with you. Today I am wearing all Chanel. It just so happened that, the colors came together. But this blush is 430 Fochia Rosa. And it has been around for quite a while, but I'm pretty sure it has not been discontinued. I keep buying it because, guys, look at this. Do you see that? Like the little brush has disappeared. I don't ever use those brushes anyway, but this is a blush that has been around for quite a while, and I have bought it over and over again through the years. So Chanel has the blush formula that I love the most. Of all of the formulas out there for blush, I've always loved Chanel blushes. But there's others that are really good, and I'll probably share those with you, in the future as I use them. But I really recommend this one. Of course, you could tell that this is like a coral type of color. Very beautiful. Very nice. Okay. And then today's lip liner is, of course, from the same long-lasting lip liner that I've been sharing with you for the past couple of weeks because I'm on a roll with these Chanel lip products. But this one is 176 Blood Orange, and I had shared this one with you, I think, one time before. Now today, of course, I continue on my binging on all of my Rouge Duo Ultra Tenue formula lipsticks from Chanel. And this one is in 176 Burning Red. And it is absolutely gorgeous. Look at that. Very beautiful. And what I love about this color is that, it just goes like with any season. You could, I typically don't pull it during the spring, but during the summer, winter, fall, it's a color that goes with all seasons. But anyway, guys, I will have all of these linked for you in the description box in case you're interested in picking them up. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and start with a fragrance that has me, guys, beyond impressed, okay? And this one is from Paris Corner, and it's Fayora. Now, Fayora is a fragrance that is not launched yet. It will be available tomorrow. And I will be sure to leave a link and my discount code so you can save some dollars if you decide to pick up this fragrance. But let's talk about it because this one is very, very special. This is one that you may really want to try. So Fayora is inspired by Xerjoff Casamorati Dama Bianca. Now, Dama Bianca, okay, which I have right here, is a fragrance that I absolutely love for the summer season. As a matter of fact, just yesterday, I published a video where I discussed, summer fragrances that I've loved, for the longest time. And Dama Bianca was one of those fragrances. Well, Fayora, to me, is definitely inspired by Dama Bianca. But let's talk about it in more detail. Now, this fragrance, as soon as I sprayed it out, it has not had a chance to sit. It was sent to me in advance of launch, but as soon as I sprayed it out, I could tell that it was Dama Bianca. But at that, it is a bit of a twist on Dama Bianca because, and at that, a very pleasant and welcome twist. So there's several things about this fragrance that you need to know in comparison to Dama Bianca. So as I review the fragrance for you, I will be sharing those differences. So the first thing is that when I say that this one is a twist on Dama Bianca, what I'm trying to say is that there's an immediate slight difference. And here it is all about the note of passion fruit. So Dama Bianca does not have the note of passion fruit, but Fayora has not only an incredibly dominant passion fruit note in the opening throughout the olfactory journey and throughout the wear of the fragrance, but at that note of passion fruit is very, very realistic. It is juicy, it is sweet, it is true passion fruit. Now, this is a fragrance that because it has not been officially launched, I don't even have the notes. And I did request the notes from Paris Corner, but I never received them. So I'm just going off of my nose. But I am telling you, this is Dama Bianca. Now, let me explain a little bit, right? So although this was inspired by Dama Bianca, believe me, it does have that note of passion fruit. And at the dry down, you are going to get Dama Bianca, but with that added note of passion fruit. And that note of passion fruit is not dominant at the dry down. It's dominant at the opening. It's not dominant at the dry down, but it is very, very present. Now, you know that when I tell you that a note is very present, it's because it's almost dominant, but quite not, right? So with Fayora, you are going to get that Dama Bianca dry down just a bit fruitier and a tad sweeter. That's one of the key differences here. Another difference that you're going to find with Fayora, and I will get into the olfactory journey and all that in a minute, but I just have to say these things because I've been waiting for you to just let you know that. Wow, okay? The other thing is, the only thing I can say about Dama Bianca, I think that Dama Bianca is an incredible fragrance. I absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. But I wish that it performed better. It does not lack in performance. It does perform very well. But I wish, we always want some fragrances to last us 10, 12 hours. Well, Dama Bianca doesn't do that. And it is my understanding that on many fam members, Dama Bianca does not perform very well on their skin. That is not my case, but here's the solution, because this one on my skin borders on beast mode. And understand that they did send me this fragrance in advance, so I did have a chance to spray it and allow it to sit for several days. But at that, this fragrance is very new. So it has not had a chance to really sit for months in my collection. So imagine, as it has the opportunity to sit, what kind of performance you're going to get from it. So Fayora is a fragrance that opens up very much like Dama Bianca. It is, to my nose, the exact same opening. And by the way, what I'm going to share with you today about Fayora is what I picked up on my skin and on paper. So they both open the exact same way. That's how I knew that, this is Dama Bianca inspired. But at that, in the opening, like a couple of minutes after that same opening, you're going to start to pick up on the note of passion fruit. And that passion fruit comes in very realistic, juicy, sweet, ripe, beautiful. But you're going to pick up clearly on the passion fruit. As the journey continues, you're going to find that the fragrance becomes a bit sweeter because of that note of passion fruit, and the note intensifies. Midway in the olfactory journey, you've got the same DNA that you pick up in Dama Bianca midway in the olfactory journey, but with that added passion fruit note and an additional bit of sweetness to the fragrance scent overall. Now, after that, you are going to start to pick up on the florals. And what I pick up is really a bouquet of purple florals. But within that, the one that stands out the most to me is the violet. So the violet within the florals is what I'm picking up as most dominant. Now, in addition to those purple florals, there's also some white florals, but the only one that I can kind of pick up on, and it's a bit faint, is the jasmine. Now, at this point, guys, midway in the olfactory journey, you're going to be totally addicted to this fragrance. You're going to be sniffing it and sniffing it and sniffing it. You know, if you are into the note of passion fruit, you really need to get this fragrance. You really need to get your nose on it and try it at least, because you are going to be very, very impressed by how realistic the passion fruit has been done here. The other thing that I did want to mention is that for me, Dama Bianca, although it is perfect for the summer, Dama Bianca to me is not a tropical fragrance, but this one is, because the passion fruit gives the fragrance that tropical quality that you're not going to get in a Dama Bianca. Dama Bianca is truly a very elegant, perfect for the summer kind of fragrance. This one, while it has that same elegance, also has that tropical vibe that goes with it perfectly well. Does that mean that this one would be just limited to the summer because of that? No, not really, because you do have that Dama Bianca DNA in the background, always present. So between that passion fruit and that Dama Bianca DNA, you get a fragrance that I am telling you is going to get you totally hooked, totally addicted. The scent is absolutely beautiful and glorious and elegant, while also speaking to summer. At the dry down, you are going to get an exquisitely beautiful, sweet, not very sweet, but sweet, musky, and we'll talk more about the musk in a minute. The musk is not animalic in any way, but you are going to get that musk scent where the passion fruit is very much, at this point, not dominant, but very, very present on a backdrop of like a very nicely done or a good amount of vanilla, not a ton of vanilla, but a very nicely done vanilla that comes across as like the woodiness that you pick up in the background comes across as like infused with the vanilla. And the dry down is a tad powdery, but nothing compared to the powderiness that at least I get on my skin with Dama Bianca. But all in all, that dry down is basically going to give you the Dama Bianca dry down with that added passion fruit note. That is really what you're going to get. And when I tell you that that scent is just beautifully glorious, incredible perfection for, I would say, summer, spring, and maybe even fall. I don't think that this is just a fragrance for the summer because of the passion fruit and because of that tropical quality. I think you can definitely use it during the spring, and you could probably get away with it during the fall. But if you're going away to a warm weather location, or if you're going on holiday to a warm place, this is perfection. If you're just at home and you want to make this your signature scent during the summer, it is perfection because it has that elegance and that DNA of Dama Bianca, which when I've talked to you about Dama Bianca, I've told you that it's perfect to make your signature scent and that you could also use it for special occasions. This one, because of that added note of passion fruit, is a bit more versatile in my opinion. But I would definitely limit it to like spring, summer, and fall. Now let's talk about performance, because that's something that I've really been looking forward to sharing with you. So this is a fragrance that on my skin borders on beast, which means it gives me very well over the 8-hour mark without having to overspray. At all that, for me, this fragrance is truly more of a feminine fragrance, right? And the other difference that I did want to bring to your attention is that while Dama Bianca is a fragrance that I think you could use any season of the year, this one, as I said before, I think is mostly for like spring, summer, and maybe fall. At all that, you can use it for any occasion, day or night. I think that it is suited for just about any age. There are no age constraints to this fragrance. Fayora has no oud, but it does have a very present musk. The musk here, I would say, is like a level 3, which means that you are going to pick up on that musk clearly. So you must enjoy a musky fragrance, but it is not animalic in any kind of way. So it is a very wearable musk, very pleasant. I tell you, this fragrance is just exceptional. It really, really is. I have to be honest with you about two things. First, I cannot believe that Paris Corner was able to, like improve, in my opinion, and I know this is not going to be, taken well by those Dama Bianca cult lovers. I'm one of them, but I have to admit that this fragrance to me is a bit better than Dama Bianca. Number one, you have better performance. Number two, you guys know how I love the note of passion fruit. I am absolutely loving this fragrance, and I am really looking forward to it having the chance to sit to see what else I get from it, because it's truly exquisitely done. All in all, I can't speak highly enough of Fayora. I am very, very impressed. I never thought that the day would come where I would say that I actually preferred, a fragrance under this scent profile more than Dama Bianca, but I have to tell you that passion fruit has been a deal breaker for me. I'm really, really enjoying it. I absolutely recommend it. I really think that you should at least try it, but it is a very safe blind buy. If you're into Dama Bianca and you like and enjoy the note of passion fruit, this one is a no-brainer. And I give it a 9.5 out of 10. I'm really looking forward to getting your opinion once you try it. So the next fragrance that I'm going to share with you is actually very much a gourmand. And this one is from a fragrance house that every time they launch a new gourmand, I'm absolutely looking forward to it, because I'm not even sure that there's been a fail from Ministry of Gourmand. But anyway, this one is called Strawberry Poundcake. Now, Strawberry Poundcake right now is on pre-order. And of course, I will link everything for you. And I do have a discount code for this one. But this one is on pre-order. And this is an original. This is not inspired by any other fragrance. And it really doesn't remind me or bring to mind any fragrance whenever I've had the opportunity to use it. And look at this beautiful bottle. I mean, I shared with you another fragrance. I can't remember the name, but it was probably 2 or 3 weeks ago, and it was the chocolate version of this one. But this is really, really interesting. Now, you guys know that I've been on the pursuit of the perfect strawberry fragrance. And, something that comes across as very realistic, juicy, and fruity, and sweet. So let's see what I have to say about Strawberry Poundcake. So let me start by sharing the notes with you. So at the top, we have lemon, strawberry, and coffee. In the mid, we have orange blossom, cashmere, and violet. And at the base, we have musk, vanilla, it says musk and vanilla milks. So vanilla milks, okay? Now, let's talk a little bit about the journey of Strawberry Poundcake. So let me just start by saying that Strawberry Poundcake to me is rather different, because it's not that the strawberry is synthetic. It's that what I pick up is not necessarily on a standalone, fruity, juicy, ripe strawberry. No, what I pick up on is like the scent that you get if you make a strawberry poundcake. That is what I pick up. I don't necessarily get the fruit. That's what I'm trying to say. I get strawberry pound cake. So if you ask me, Arahi, is the strawberry realistic? Is it synthetic? Guys, I am not getting the strawberry fruit. I am getting truly strawberry pound cake. To me, it doesn't get any more real than this, truly. Now at that, the fragrance does open. Very interestingly enough, it opens with the note of coffee. To my nose, on paper, on my skin, it opens with the note of coffee. But the coffee is like an Americano coffee. It's not like a coffee that's very intense or anything like that. Oh no, because this fragrance is not about the coffee. The star here is not the strawberry, but the strawberry pound cake. That's what you're going to get. But the fragrance opens with that note of coffee, and then immediately it is followed by you starting to pick up like little whiffs and sniffs of strawberry. But then you will realize that you're not really getting strawberry, the fruit per se, you're getting like a strawberry cake. And at that, it is truly a pound cake because I don't pick up on any creaminess or moistness of a strawberry cake. I'm picking up strawberry pound cake. There is a bit of denseness that you're going to get in the scent that clearly speaks to me of the same scent that you get from a strawberry pound cake. The fragrance overall is sweet. It is sweet, it is lactonic, not very lactonic, but it's definitely a lactonic fragrance. It is sweet, but the dominant note within that sweetness is that fruitiness coming from the strawberry. But at no point do I just get the strawberry, guys. I'm telling you, I just keep getting strawberry pound cake. At that, you are going to get quite a bit of vanilla in this fragrance. And while there is a floral presence to the fragrance, I can't clearly distinguish what floral or what florals are involved because that note of strawberry pound cake is the star. It's very dominant and it is not allowing the others to really show through. You are going to get the florals a little bit after mid in the olfactory journey. You're going to get the florals, but at that, I really can't distinguish what they are. Now, in addition to those florals, I am getting that very much of a lactonic quality, and at the dry down, the fragrance is not as lactonic as I picked up in the olfactory journey. It's a little bit like a bit more balanced, but all in all, what you're going to get at the dry down is strawberry pound cake for sure. At that, the scent is not synthetic in any way. To me, it is as real as it comes. So this fragrance does have musk, and the musk is a level 3, but it's not animalic in any way, but it is a very present musk. So again, I really recommend that you only pick this up if you do enjoy a musk-based fragrance because it is. At that, and much like in the tradition, or at least in my experience with Ministry of Gourmand, their gourmands are very realistic, very well done, but they're not juvenile. I don't want you to think that because this is strawberry pound cake, this is like a fruity lala juvenile, kind of scent. No, this is appropriate for absolutely any age, but it's not juvenile, it's not mature. It is just a gourmand, a very nicely done gourmand. I think that this is one that you can pull for any season of the year for, I would say, more of casual occasions, but that's just my personal preference. This is not a fragrance that I would, wear to a gala, but it is definitely a fragrance that you can wear for any occasion that is casual during the day or during the night in any season. And for me, this is truly unisex. I mean, wear whatever you want, how you want. But for me, this is unisex. I mean, it's just a gourmand. It's strawberry pound cake. If, whomever wants to smell like it can just spray this because that's what you're going to smell like. The fragrance has absolutely no oud, and I think this is an exceptional, solid release from Ministry of Gourmand. I'm very impressed by the way the strawberry note has been done, not independent, but like together, just giving you exactly what the fragrance is called, strawberry pound cake. And I give this one an 8.5 out of 10. I do realize that I forgot to talk about performance. So this is a fragrance that has not had a chance to sit for months in my collection, but it is already giving me around 7.5 hours tops. And it is a fragrance that does have a strong projection and a moderate sillage. So I would say that the performance is rather good, and that's without overspray. All right, so the next fragrance that I want to discuss with you is Zahi. Now Zahi, and I hope that I'm pronouncing it correctly, so Zahi is also currently on pre-order if I remember correctly, but again, I will have everything linked for you and a discount code. But let me go ahead and share with you the notes of Zahi before I tell you what I really think it was allegedly inspired by. So at the top, we have apple and pear. In the mid, we have jasmine, rose, and vanilla. And at the base, we have patchouli, amber, and dry wood. It is woody, it is fruity, it is sweet, and it has a tad of like a balsamic quality to it. So that being said, I'm going to tell you that this one was allegedly inspired by Casablanca. Yes, Swiss Arabian Casablanca. And that is definitely what I get. So let me just get out of the way and say that compared to Casablanca, Zahi is like less sweet. It is barely powdery at the dry down, which is not the case with Casablanca, and it is definitely less musky. But at that, you are going to get pretty much Casablanca at the dry down with a twist. So let's talk more about that. So Zahi has a twist on the fruitiness because here you only have pear and apple. And in Casablanca, I know that there's other fruits. If I recall correctly, I think there's grape or something like that, but there's a different fruitiness that you pick up in the opening of Casablanca that you do not get in this one. But midway in the olfactory journey, when the florals start to come in, as it also does in Casablanca, you're going to pick up on the note of jasmine. That's the only one that I really pick up. And I don't think it has been disclosed, but I do pick up on a tad of jasmine. Now, in addition to that, you are going to get the woodiness. Now, Casablanca, to my nose and on my skin, is quite woody, very ambery and very woody. Well, Zahi to me is a bit less woody. It is very ambery also, but definitely less woody. But at the dry down, you're definitely going to get an exquisitely beautiful, fruity, sweet, not very sweet, but fruity scent on a backdrop of like vanilla infused woody notes and some faint florals. That's really what you're going to get with Zahi. But for some reason, at the dry down, you are going to pick up on the fact that this was allegedly inspired by Casablanca with a slight twist. So while I consider Casablanca to be more of a unisex fragrance, I think that Zahi is more like unisex but leaning a tad to the feminine side. For some reason, I really do get that, and I compared them side by side because I have right here my Casablanca. But at that, I can tell you that this is a fragrance that you can use for any season of the year, for any occasion. Although they have not disclosed the note of musk, I do pick up on musk in this fragrance. And this musk is like a level 2, but it's not a soft, smooth 2. It's a present 2, because sometimes I tell you that a fragrance has a level 2 musk and then I tell you that you're barely going to pick up on it. No, in this one, it's not animalic or anything, but you're definitely going to pick up on that musk. Now, the fragrance has absolutely no oud, and I think it's suitable for any age. As far as performance, remember this one, much like the others that I'm going to share with you today, has not had a chance to sit in my collection. It has been with me for some time, but has not had really a chance to sit for months. But it is performing very well. It is giving me 7 hours with a strong projection during the first 90 minutes and then a moderate sillage. But all in all, it is a fragrance that you are going to be able to sniff on yourself all throughout the day, but no more than just 7 hours within that day. All in all, I think that this is a solid release from Paris Corner, and I am really loving it because what I'm loving about all of the fragrances that I'm going to share with you today, and especially the next 2 that are coming up, is the quality of the blend. I think it's been done very nicely. You can tell that they really took their time and they put some thought into it. I mean, they're just done very, very nicely. So I think that this is a very, very good fragrance, and I give it an 8 out of 10. The next fragrance that I want to share with you is also a recent launch from Paris Corner, and this one is Zodiac Solmaris. Now, Zodiac Solmaris is also on pre-order right now, but it is a fragrance, guys, that, I have so been looking forward to having this conversation with you, because let me just start by telling you that this fragrance is inspired by a fragrance that I do not own. It is a fragrance that is truly masculine, but this is unisex to me. But this one is allegedly inspired by Isa Miyake, La Selle de Say. Laissez de. And let me tell you what the notes of this fragrance are. So at the top, ginger and sea salt. In the mid, aquatic and algae, or algae. And then at the base, vetiver and cedarwood. So this is a fragrance that some will definitely say that it leans a tad to the masculine side. Those gents that really love this fragrance are going to say that this is truly a masculine fragrance. But I am telling you, this is truly a unisex fragrance that I plan to use because I absolutely love it. This is so marine aquatic, like it is so realistic. You know what this gives me? This gives me like you're in a yacht in the middle of the ocean somewhere, and you can clearly get that scent of like water, like with salt, like sea salt water, it's just incredible. It is so different than anything that I've tried recently with a marine quality. The marine quality here is very dominant. It is so realistic. I can pick up clearly on that note of algae, and then there's some moss to it. It is just a very aquatic fragrance that for some, I am telling you, may lean to the masculine side. The fragrance is also very aromatic and fresh, spicy. And clearly to my nose, the ginger is very present. Like I get the sea salt clearly. I get the ginger clearly. And that marine quality is everything. To me, those notes and those accords are the ones that define the fragrance and give it that very incredibly like aquatic scent, because it is a very aquatic fragrance. This is not a fragrance that I think you'll be able to get away with wearing all throughout the year. For me, this is specifically for the summer season. For me, this is not even spring. I mean, that's just my opinion. You could probably pull it off for the spring, but certainly not for fall and winter. This is definitely for me, warm weather all the way. It is perfection for a very hot summer day. When I tell you perfection, like I just can't wait to spray it on a very hot summer day that I'm in an aquatic environment, because I have tried it in this very hot Georgia weather, but I have not been like, at the beach or in an aquatic environment. But I just know that this is going to be absolute perfection. Now, to me, this is suitable for just about any age. And when it comes to the summer season, specifically for any occasion, day or night. This fragrance has no oud and no musk that I can pick up on, because sometimes it's just not, reported or disclosed, but I'm not picking up on musk, and there's definitely no oud here. And the performance. This fragrance, without having to overspray, exceeds the 8-hour mark without a problem, with a very strong projection during, I would say, the first 2 hours and a moderate sillage. I tell you, this is a fragrance that if you are into marine quality, very aquatic type fragrances, this is one you need to pick up, because you are going to absolutely fall in love with it. This to me is like the perfect fragrance. Again, if you're going on a yacht, like if you guys own a boat and you guys, go boating a lot during the summer, perfection. This is the exact scent. It is just perfection. Anyway, I can't wait to I was going to say, well, let us know if you've tried it, but it hasn't been really made available yet that I know of, allegedly, supposedly. So just let us know once you try it, what you think about it, because I am really looking forward to getting opinions on all of these fragrances that I'm sharing with you today, because I just want to know if it's just me, okay? But this is really exceptional and different, and I give it a 9.5 out of 10. All right, so this next fragrance is, I am obsessed with this fragrance. This is the only one from this group that was not sent to me. This is from Lattafa, and let me just start by sharing Dream of Haze. Guys, let's take a moment to look at this incredibly beautiful. I mean, tell me this is not a piece of art. And if I recall correctly, this is part of the Lattafa Pride collection. Let me share with you the notes before I just get caught in the passion of the moment, because I am obsessed with this fragrance. This scent is just ridiculous, crazy good. Like, Let me share with you the notes. So at the top, we have mint and apple shisha accord. At the heart, we have cinnamon, lavender, and artemisia. And at the base, we have tobacco, patchouli, tonka bean, and amber. Let me just start by saying that if you are a lady and you're concerned, you're like, Arahi, you said tobacco, forget it. No. This is like, if you ever saw my review of Swiss Arabian Tobacco 01, the way that the tobacco was done in Swiss Arabian Tobacco 01 is exactly how it's been done here. The tobacco is not a dry tobacco. It is a very like moist, smooth scent tobacco that is also sweetened. When I tell you, perfection. So this fragrance opens up, and I am so careful with opening it because I don't want anything to happen to it because this, okay, so this fragrance opens up fresh, spicy, sweet, and a tad smoky. But when I say smoky, I don't want you to think that it's like an incense type of scent that you're going to pick up. No, it's just like the fragrance has a touch of a smoky quality to it. As the journey continues, you're going to pick up clearly on the cinnamon within that fresh spiciness, but the cinnamon is not dominant in any way. It just flows very well because this blend is so exquisitely done. In addition to that, you're going to clearly pick up on the note of lavender. Now, there is one, because I know some people really don't like the note of lavender. You have to enjoy the note of lavender in order to really appreciate this fragrance. But if you are into that note of lavender, that also brings or adds to that freshness that I called fresh spicy, where the cinnamon is the main spice that you're going to pick up on, the opening is going to immediately hook you on and get you addicted to this fragrance. Now, as the journey continues, the fragrance becomes very aromatic, and it is also very ambery. It was ambery in the opening, but what I pick up on is that ambery quality will continue to intensify, and midway in the olfactory journey, the fragrance is quite aromatic and ambery. Now, as you approach the dry down, that's when the tobacco makes its debut. And the tobacco comes in such a smooth way. It almost like entices you to fall deeper and deeper in love with this fragrance. The tobacco, as I said, is not a dry tobacco. It's a very moist, very smooth note that comes in with an exquisite sweetness to the accord itself. Now, at the dry down, you are going to get a scent that is highly addictive. It is sweet, it is a tad spicy, it has a smoky quality to it. It has a very, very smooth tobacco on like a backdrop of like some woody notes and very light florals where the lavender is really the star. And when I tell you that dry down is magical, you are going to be in love from first sniff. If you're going to love this fragrance, and this one is not polarizing at all in my opinion, but as soon as you sniff it, you're going to fall in love. But what I'm trying to say is that at the dry down, it's just going to take that love to the next level because this fragrance is incredible. Now, this fragrance has no oud and no musk. And it is a fragrance that to me is truly unisex. If you have me pick a lean, because some people are always telling me, okay, Arahi, it must lean to some side. Well, then I'll say that it leans a tad to the feminine side. But truly, this is a unisex fragrance. Even though it has that sweetness, it is definitely a unisex fragrance, and one that I think is best suited for the ages of 25 plus, and one that you could use for any occasion, day or night, for any season. It is just an exquisitely lovely fragrance that performs exceptionally because on my skin, this is beast mode already. And again, it has not had a chance to really sit for months in my collection. But it is definitely beast mode, and it does have a very strong projection that exceeds a little bit over the 2-hour mark, then becomes a scent bubble for an additional 2 to 3 hours. But by the end of the day, it is an intimate skin scent where you can still sniff yourself. This fragrance to me, guys, is a deep, deep love. I am so impressed. I have not been impressed with a tobacco fragrance this much since I reviewed for you Swiss Arabian's Tobacco 01. And they're not the same fragrance at all, by the way, guys. Please Do not be mistaken. There are so many more notes and accords here that are not present in Tobacco 01. But this is absolutely exquisite. I wonder if someone has had the chance to try this already. If you have, can you please share with us in the comment section how you feel about it? Because I am absolutely obsessed. To me, this is a 10 out of 10. All right, guys, so we've reached the end of today's video, and I hope that this was enjoyable for you, because it certainly was for me. You know, as I said in the opening, I did mean it. I just think that, you know, we have seen so many new Middle Eastern fragrances within this year that, you know, some of us were like, okay, so what next? And it just seemed that for a while we were getting the same fragrance in different bottles, or, you know, different versions from different fragrance houses. So today for me, this was very refreshing, because these are all quite different. Are they like, you know, groundbreaking scent profiles? Some of them, to be honest with you, are, because that strawberry pound cake one, I don't have anything like that in my collection. And Dream of Haze, you know, I absolutely love. And I will also say that for a minute I thought, well, could Dream of Haze be inspired by Killian's Smokin' Hot? But in the olfactory journey and throughout the wear of the fragrances, I find such differences that are not necessarily negligible, that I had to put that idea aside. To me, that fragrance has not been inspired by anything, but hey, you never know. But what I can tell you is that I'm very happy that it is in my collection, and it is staying, because it is absolutely exquisite. As far as strawberry pound cake, as long as you're not looking for a true strawberry note, then you're going to love it, because it really smells like strawberry pound cake without a doubt. As far as Zahi, I think that Zahi is really a twist on Casablanca. So if you are a Casablanca lover, you know, it may be redundant in your collection unless you just want to try a bit of a spin on Casablanca. Now, as far as Fayora, I am telling you, I can't wait to hear others speak about Fayora and that incredibly realistic note of passion fruit that has me totally hooked since first sniff. I really am looking forward to hearing your opinions about all of these fragrances. But anyway, thank you so much as always for hanging with me today, and I will see you all in the next video.